this is More to Her, and today I will be giving my labor and delivery story. Is that how you call it? Labor and delivery? I don't know. But anyways, I'll also be including the items that I received from the hospital and the items that I brought myself. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe, whatever your little heart desires. And as always, thanks for watching. So some may be wondering if I was scared to give birth, or what my plan was, etc. So my plan was to, well, first of all, I was not really scared to give birth. I was more so worried about like the aftermath of postpartum. Not taking care of the baby, that's not what I was worried about, but like how I would feel postpartum. But anyways, yeah, of course it was a little nerve-wracking to think about giving birth, but a lot of women go through it. A lot of things can happen, but I had faith for the most part that everything will be okay, so I wasn't really too scared. My plan was to have a natural delivery, and it was also to try to not get the epidural, but if I needed the epidural, I was all for it. So yeah, that's what I was really going for. And yeah, so I'll start off by saying that my original plan was to work all the way up until I was having contractions. I worked at an elementary school, and all the teachers that I saw at my school who were, pregnant and giving birth literally would work up until their last day. For the most part, like 98% of them. I don't know any that went earlier, but yeah, so I was like, if they can do it and they have to walk upstairs and I'm just on the first floor, then why can't I do it? So that was my plan. But then some people were like, no girl, you should take advantage and take your medical leave early. So as I got closer and closer to becoming 9 months, I was swollen all the time. My feet, like my shoes didn't fit. I was in pain. I can barely sleep at night. And so yeah, so somebody convinced me to take it early, and that was my plan. So the reason why I couldn't sleep at night, by the way, was because I was having like really bad, and I'm wearing pajamas, so don't judge me. I'm at home. But so like I was having really bad pain, like right here in this area. It felt like I was sleeping on bruised legs since the beginning, literally since the beginning of my pregnancy. I could not sleep. I would be crying from the pain of how painful it was. I would be literally in tears and trying to find position, sleeping on the sofa behind me, sleeping on a rocking chair in the room, and none of it helped. I had a pillow that some lady who didn't even know me, who worked for the school, who was a co-worker, who didn't even work in my school, found out that I was pregnant, found out that I was having pain, and said, hey, called up my school line and said, hey, do you want this pillow? And I was like, heck yeah. I was really sure that this pain was just too much, that it wouldn't go away. I tried pillows, I tried like bed pillows, and I tried the pillow that lady gave me, which was kind of like a wedge, and it didn't work. So I should have got the maternity pillow, but I did not get it. But anyways, that's my point, is that I was so miserable that I was like, you know what? I was working morning care, which is like before school starts, there's kids who get dropped off and we need somebody to watch them or whatever. Going in like at 6:30 in the morning, I had to be the first one there because I was the one who would open up. So without me, the parents can't come in. So, and you know how hard that was while I was pregnant? Super hard, because one, I was rushing to get ready in the mornings, I was tired, I was in pain, and my feet were swollen. I couldn't find shoes that fit me half of the time, and naturally I'm just always getting ready super slow. So imagine being pregnant, and then like I would need to feed myself. So I made sure that every morning I walked out with food to eat at work, or I ate here at home before I left. So that was very hard. Some of the parents were probably not so happy with me because I would be like pulling up right on time. But anyways, why am I even saying this? So I'm just telling you why I ended up wanting to do my maternity leave 2 weeks before my due date. So I ended up telling my bosses, you know, change of plans. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 weeks before my due date so I can just, you know, relax before this baby comes, try to get some sleep. And yeah, but baby girl was like, oh, you think you getting a break? No, mommy, if you taking a break from work, you ready for me. So baby girl decided to come the day of my last day of what was supposed to be my last day of work. So how did it happen? How did I know I was like in labor, etc.? I have an app that my cousin actually gave me the link to like 3 days before I went into giving birth. And yeah, so it was funny that I wasn't even due until like 2 to 3 weeks, and here she is, you know, hey, here's this app. So it super came in handy because it was an app that would tell you, you know, every single time you had a contraction, you would just press this button and just etc. So it would let you know like if you had to go to the hospital or not. So basically, I gave birth on a Friday, so what was supposed to be my last day of work. On Thursday, I could not sleep, so I took off my alarm for work because I was like, I'm already up, you know, I don't need my alarm on. But I actually dozed off for the first time and actually had a good sleep. So I realized like, oh my God, my alarm didn't go off because I took it off, and here I am sleeping and I'm gonna be late for work. So I was about to start texting my coworkers, but this is graphic, by the way. If there's any men like tuning into the story, I'm sorry. There's gonna be a lot of graphic stuff in this. If you don't like this type of content, you can like give my video a like at least, subscribe if you haven't, and then see your way out. But anyways, so yeah, on Thursday, I woke up, I was running late. I was about to text my managers, and I went to the restroom and noticed that I had some spotting, some blood. And naturally, I would freak out, right? But for some reason, I didn't freak out. I just woke up my husband and I was like, oh my God, I'm having spotting. And for some reason, I kind of felt like maybe this is a sign, you know, that baby's gonna come soon. I didn't expect this to be as soon as it did, but you know, so I was a little, I did become a little worried, but really I felt like overall, I was more so like, this may be a sign, this is exciting. So I Google it, of course, because I Google everything, and Google practically told me, I'm not too sure on like the time frame, but it says something about like, if you see spotting, then, and you're at this week of pregnancy or at the end of your pregnancy, then this basically means that you're about 24 to 78 hours from giving birth. And I was like, no freaking way, like that can't be. I'm not due until 2 weeks. Like I'm 37, I'm not even 37 weeks. It's Thursday. I was gonna turn 37 weeks on Friday. So I call my doctor's office. They basically said, just keep an eye on it. I wouldn't worry about it. Let us know, you know, if the bleeding progresses, then, you know, you definitely will have to call us. And hope, please, baby girl is waking up from a nap, so I have to go get her. Okay, I'm back. So anyways, went into work, you know, I told my coworkers, they were like, oh my God, it could possibly be. And yeah, so I ended up cleaning out my desk, did everything preparing it for me to leave just in case. But I was really thinking like, you know, let me do this on Thursday because on Friday, tomorrow is my last day and I'm gonna be tired, in pain, and I'm spotting. So, you know, I just want a good day for tomorrow. Next thing you know, I'm going home, I'm cooking, I'm in pain, I'm swollen, I'm cleaning, and I just start feeling like bad cramps. Like, but you know, I felt like I felt those cramps before and I thought, you know, these are Braxton Hicks, this is normal. I just kept on, you know, doing what I had to do, but I was struggling. And then when I go to sleep, like it's 9 o'clock and I'm feeling cramps and more cramps. And I'm like, okay, you know, whatever, this is doable, this is fine. Like, these are just Braxton Hicks, because it's not like back to back, it's just randomly. And so then I think it was like at 1, no, I think like I have the app here and I have a picture, so I don't know exactly when I started counting the contractions, right? Because I was like, just in case, let me mark this into the app. I don't know what time I started doing that, but all I know is that at one point it was like, it was telling me, go to the hospital. And I was like, yeah, no way, because some of the contractions aren't even like that close together. Like they'll be close together and then there'll be a period of time where they're not close together. So I was like, that period of time shouldn't be there, right? If I'm in labor. But it kept telling me and I was like, no, I don't know. But so when I was younger, or even like before getting pregnant, I always struggled with really bad cramps during my menstrual cycle. So it literally was that. It was literally like really bad cramps. So, you know, I can kind of handle it. I was okay, I guess. Not really, but you know, whatever. Us women, we take a lot of pain when we're in our menstrual cycle. So it's like, what's the difference, right? Like, I guess I can handle it. Like during my menstrual cycle, sometimes I would be screaming and like crying from the cramps on how bad they were. So, you know, I guess I can take it, right? I was just waiting for my water to break or something, or to be like, I don't know, huffing and puffing, because, you know, that's what you see in the movies. But anyways, so I was like, you know what? I don't know if I could take these cramps anymore, because they're really bad. And at this point, I would be taking a hot shower and popping some ibuprofen if I was on my menstrual cycle, but I can't do that because I'm pregnant. So let me just hop in the shower so I can be fresh and clean to go to the hospital. So I hopped in the shower and it was probably like 2 o'clock in the morning, or like 1 something. And then, you know, I was hoping that maybe by the time I was done, my contractions or Braxton Hicks will go away. It got so bad that like while I was in the shower, I could barely like do what I needed to do. So when I got out of the shower, I told Jamel, I was like, look, I think we need to go to the hospital. I go to the hospital and the lady's like, are you having contractions back to back? And I was like, I really didn't know what to tell her, because like I didn't know if I was. Like it didn't feel like I was, according to the period of time in between each contraction. Like, yeah, like I said, there was periods where it was like less than 2 minutes, and then there was periods where it was like 6-10 minutes in between. So that whole 6 to 10 minutes was like, kept me thinking, oh no, this can't be. But I didn't want to tell her that, because I knew if I told her that, they would send me back home. So I was like, yeah, they're close together. So she's like, okay. So they admitted me, rolled me up in my wheelchair to go to the, you know, labor area. And they didn't let Jamel check in right away because, you know, COVID. So I was kind of like, are they gonna let this man come through? They better, because they said he is allowed. So that was a little confusing and a little scary that I went by myself first. But you know, they just need to ask you questions like, is this a domestic violence relationship that you're in? Do you really want him to come back? You know, and just other weird questions like that before they actually let him come in. And I guess they wanted to make sure too that I was actually gonna be admitted before, you know, because of COVID, before they let somebody come in with me. So anyways, they finally let him come in. And I was, again, contracting really bad. When they checked me to see if I was dilated, I was already 4 centimeters. Yo, I sound mad illiterate talking about these things. Ah! Is it centimeters? You know, if you would have asked me this, like, without me doing the video, I could have told you it correctly. But every single time that I do a video, I feel like my brain just goes crazy and I forget things. But anyways, so I was already at 4. And yeah, so that was crazy. Was definitely in active labor, so that's what the doctor said. Or what was she? She wasn't a doctor. She was a, my midwife that I chose. There was two people on call, the doctor and then the midwife. And because I only saw that doctor once and I had seen her once or twice, I decided to go with her because I wanted someone who remembered me, and I was hoping that she remembered me because there was no way the doctor I only saw one time could possibly remember me. That's what I was thinking in my head, but who knows? So anyways, so I chose her, and yeah, she was like, you're in active labor. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm only 37 weeks. So they made me walk around. Before they checked me, they actually made me walk around the floor. Like, look how stupid I sound. Do not say these things about yourself. You are not stupid. You are smart. You're intelligent. Why do I talk like this? Okay, so anyways, so they made me walk around the outside hallway. I don't know, for like 15 minutes, I think. And let me tell you that I was in pain. And she was like, look, if you need to hold on to these bars in the hallway, they have bars out there on purpose so that moms in labor could like scrunch down to the floor or squat down to the floor if they needed to. And I thought that was so weird. Like, I don't want to squat down on the floor, but I definitely did. Probably like 30 minutes later, they asked me if I wanted the epidural, and I looked at my husband like, should I get it? Is it too early? Like, these contractions, I was gonna say these cramps, these contractions are like really strong, and I'm to the point where I'm gonna start screaming soon. So should I guess I can take it because I've gone through this type of pain before, but you know, so I asked the lady, if I don't say yes now, will I be able to say yes later? Is there a cutoff point? We're like, you're just gonna continue to receive it throughout your whole time here up until you give birth. Because I thought that if I got it too early, it would run out or something like that, but no. But yeah, so anyway, so that was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I did not go into like where I needed to start pushing up until like 4 something the next day, Friday. So, but the doctor wasn't, or the midwife was with somebody else. The midwife did come and break my water because my water never broke. And then that's when, you know, soon after I went into pushing. And so the nurses were there, and they were the ones that were helping me push. They gave me the little peanut ball as well for me to try that. And I can feel every single contraction, even though I had the epidural, which, by the way, the epidural messed me up in the beginning. Right away when I got it, I literally felt like I was gonna pass out. I thought that, wow, this could be the end of me. Like, that sounds crazy, but that literally, I was so scared. I was throwing up. I felt so lightheaded that I would pass out. And then, you know, I see my nurse, which she was just so amazing. Every single nurse was so amazing, but she was like, she looked a little worried, you know? So I started freaking out, and I told her, hey, like, I'm not feeling good. And she was just like, oh, really? Okay, it's okay, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she was just like putting medicine into my, here I go forgetting the words. But anyways, so she was doing what she needed to do, but she wasn't really explaining to me what was going on because she didn't want to worry me. But my blood pressure dropped so bad, and she kept on checking the baby's monitor to make sure that the baby was okay, because they, you know, that can drastically affect the baby. It's very dangerous, not a good situation to happen, but she was able to stabilize my blood pressure with some sort of medicine that she put in my IV, there's the word. And yeah, so that was scary. I could not sleep. That happened like, because I got my epidural when they told me, I think I mentioned that when they told me, you know, hey, do you want it? It's not gonna run out. And then so I was like, fine, I'll just take it. Not long after that, you know, that situation happened, and I was worried. And I wasn't worried for baby. I felt so much peace that baby would be okay. But I was like freaking out, like, what if something happens to me? Like, this does not feel right. And I kept on looking at the monitor, and the monitor never showed, up until I gave birth, the monitor never showed where my blood pressure usually is at. I guess it was fine enough to where, you know, she stabilized it. And it wasn't, I guess, a worry. You know, they don't really tell you a lot, so I'm not sure. They try not to tell you these things because they don't want to worry you. But because she saw that I was asking and I was, you know, I was already getting worried, she did tell me like, hey, this is what's going on, but it has not affected your baby. Your baby is fine. But yeah, so I couldn't really sleep. And so that happened because the girl who put my dosage in the epidural, she put a higher amount than what she needed to. So thanks to her, that's what happened. But anyways, so yeah, so I started pushing around 4, and the whole time the midwife never came into the room. I was so annoyed by that because I thought she was supposed to be there. Isn't a midwife supposed to coach you and almost be like kind of like a doula? Not exactly, but you know. That's why I was happy to have a midwife. But anyways, I don't know. Let me know if you're in the medical fields and you know what a midwife's duties are supposed to be. But obviously, I realized that there's other ladies giving birth in the other rooms. But anyways, and she needed to attend to them. But yeah, so when I was actually going to start, when baby was actually like coming and they needed the midwife there, she was next door with another lady who started labor after me. So my nurses were like, hey, my patient started first. Like, she needs to come in here because this baby's gonna come first than the other baby. But she wouldn't come. And then, oh, she did. She came, I believe, and the nurse from next door came and tried to pull her away. And I was looking at that nurse like, do you not know that I was first? And so, listen, I was having strong contractions. My baby is about to come out, and seeing that other nurse trying to pull away my midwife highly irritated me. And guess what? She succeeded. My midwife went to the other room, and here I was in active labor pushing with this baby's hair already showing through. And so they ended up, oh, my baby, I didn't really, like right before I was about to really give birth, I was like, hey, I don't feel that the epidural is really working at this point because I'm starting to feel this pain really bad. And they're like, oh, we didn't tell you, you just have to press this button to get more. And I was like, really? I've been in pain for like an hour and a half now. And all I had to do was press this button. So I was like, okay, so should I go ahead and do so? And one nurse was like, yeah. And the other nurse was like, no, you're about to go into labor and you need to, you know, it would be easier if you start feeling a little bit more of your contractions to be able to really have control of your pushing. But, you know, it was too late because I pressed the button to get some more. But yeah, I did feel, it really felt like a big pressure. Like I wasn't in pain. There was periods where I was in pain, obviously, because it was wearing off. But like I wasn't in much pain. It was more so a lot of pressure. And when you're pushing, it just feels like you're gonna pass out. Anyways, yeah, so they succeeded. And she was next door helping someone else give birth. So the doctor that was on call, which I had met him and he was really cool. I actually really liked him. Out of all the people that oh, there is a bee inside my house. Still here. I don't know what to do. I don't want to agitate it, but I am going to try to keep a close eye. I don't know, lately I just don't do insects, you know. I try to be the strong woman that I am and kill the bad boys, but lately it's just, I don't know. Anyways, so I can't do this with this bug. Okay, so the doctor came in and he was amazing, as I thought he would be, and I should have just picked him because, you know, her loyalty was with someone else when I started pushing first, apparently. So yeah, so anyways, he was amazing, and he he ended up just being super quick. He was like, you know what, keep pushing, she's almost there. And it got to the point where I just couldn't push anymore. I literally felt like I was gonna pass out. Like, it was just like, how much more? It feels like she's stuck. Please guys, do something, because I can't. And at that point, oh my god, I'm freaking out. At that point, he had to snip a little bit. I can't do this. Hold on, pause. Like it? Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, baby. Okay, so anyways, I got the bee out. So he had to snip, and I just didn't care. I know some people were like, no, but at that point I was like, yes, please, anything to take my baby out and I don't have to push anymore and I can finally meet her. And I was kind of upset because they didn't let us record. What's wrong, mama? They didn't let us record, which I wasn't gonna post that on here, but like, I wanted it for myself, you know? I wanted to hear her first cry. And we didn't really take pictures either for, like, you know, obviously we weren't gonna record in certain angles or like take pictures in certain graphic angles, but de lejitos, ¿verdad? Pero no había manera de hacerlo, right? And I wanted my husband to be in the moment and not to be like taking pictures or whatever, and nobody else was allowed in the room, so we didn't get that, so I'm a little sad about it. But yeah, apparently they needed to snip me because she was a little stuck, couldn't come out, and she was losing a little bit of oxygen. But yeah, she came out, and I don't remember anything really at that point. Jamel said that she came out crying, and as soon as they put her on my chest, she stopped crying, is what he said. But I was just like bawling. I was crying myself. So I don't remember that moment, you know? I was just remembering how happy I was that I was okay, but primarily that baby was okay, and that we were finally gonna meet her. And I'm about to start tearing up just talking about it. Okay, get it together. But yeah, so that is basically what happened. It took about an hour and a half of me pushing, which a lot of people say for a first-time mom, that's not a lot. Like, if anything, it could have been a little shorter than that, but I don't know the exact time that I started. I do know when I gave birth. But yeah, so labor was pretty much quick, but I felt like it was an eternity because at one point, like I said, I just felt like I couldn't do it anymore. But anyways, so that was great, and that is my labor story. Hope you guys enjoyed. But yeah, I was gonna like cut it off there, but no, more details was that. Is there more details? Yeah, okay, so more details would be baby, what are you